Hey everybody, Tony D and little Joan here with a little bit of technical difficulties. I've had a rough day. I've had a very rough day. Dry vacuuming, cleaning up a basement, wishing my fridge worked. It's just been a terrible, terrible day. It's March. This is my month. My birthday is coming up on the 9th. Don't forget to celebrate the holiday with sushi and video games. So we're going to start this. Smash like and subscribe, but don't do it here. Do it over at BitChute and Rumble. I don't know if I'm going to get remonetized here. It doesn't look that way. I was supposed to do it today, and for whatever reason, it's not happening. Now I got to go through thousands of videos to see if I can figure out what the hell YouTube wants from me to just flip a switch. I only got 2,150 subscribers, YouTube. You can't give me a few pennies for the commercials you put on my videos, even though I'm not monetized now, you jerks. You cheap jerks. Anyhow, speaking of jerks, Biden, Senate Democrats agree to limit eligibility for $1,400 checks. Ha ha, dummies. Told you not to vote for Biden. Senate bill will cut off payments at $80,000 for single filers and $160 for joint filers. So apparently you have to file an income tax to get the $1,400. How's that going to work out for all the homeless people who could have really used that $1,400? You know, they say, $1,400, that should last people to July. Yeah, only the homeless people could last until July on $1,400. Probably last a whole year on $1,400, quite frankly. But, you know, I can't even last on $1,400, and I got a pretty low overhead. That would be, I mean, if I really stretched it, I can do it in 2 months, but, you know, 2 months. Yeah, so that would be March, April. You know, by the end of April, I'd be broke easily. And that's assuming I had some food in the fridge, which I don't anymore. So it's just stupid. There's going to be probably a bunch of other little items that make you ineligible for this. Biden is an idiot for doing this. He should have just sent out the checks. Trump understood that. Trump understood there was going to be waste. There's going to be waste anyway. You might as well at least get the optics win, right? I mean, I don't agree. Again, I don't agree with the stimulus. As a libertarian, I know the deal. They're borrowing $5,000 to give you $1,400. So it's not a win-win. If you had done it when people needed the money, maybe you could justify it. You know, back when you're keeping people locked down. But this isn't going to work. This is just a, you know, effed up rollout. It's a total cluster F. And the people who are evicted, they're out of their apartments already. They're on the street now, or they got a job somehow. They got some money somehow to survive. Maybe they borrowed it or whatever, or maybe they just moved to a red state where you can get a freaking job and not have to worry about things. Exclusive sources: Alabama to join Texas, Mississippi, Florida, and others, eliminating mask mandates this week. I love it. I wish our state was a red state now. I never said that. I was a Democrat most of my life. Then I became a libertarian. But now I'm all about the red, baby. Bring me forth a New Jersey Republican to crush Phil Murphy and deliver us to the promised land of just being able to go out. Let me go back to diners again. Let people go, Phil. But he won't. He won't. I see my previous video. He's astonished. He's astonished. Oh my God! Oh, no mask mandates even inside. Oh my God! I mean, seriously. Oh, but he's following the science. Yeah, the same guy who played fast and loose with the numbers. We had days where no one died, but they went back into the records to find people who had already died of the beer virus and to report them on those blank days. Because God forbid we had a few days, oh, well, great, nobody's dying now. That's great. We had 3 days, nobody died. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be an uplifting moment you read in the newspaper or on a website? Yeah, they denied that to you because they had to keep the scam going. And I'm not saying beer virus is a hoax. It's not. It's real. I believe in the beer virus. Watch yourself, YouTube. What I'm saying is they exaggerate the numbers. They add things like the flu and influenza to the mix. Where's the flu this year? Suddenly not around. Mysteriously, it's disappeared. Did the beer virus cure it? I don't think so. I think the test can't distinguish between the beer virus and the flu, which is a dangerous thing to do because perhaps every case of beer virus is worth hospitalization and the flu is just not. And people are thinking, well, maybe the beer virus isn't all that dangerous. Maybe it is that dangerous, but thanks to the idiots and their politicization of the virus, they're making it seem not that bad to other people. But then again, it's only the Republicans who want to go back to work, so they don't give an F about them, right? Oh, let those guys die and kill themselves. I think it's going to backfire on you. I really do, because I think the herd immunity will take hold in those other states, and those people will be stronger for it. And if another mutant shows up, another mutant variation of the strain, it's going to be the people who hid in their basements for months and months and months. They get hit by it, and boom, they're done. So, vaccine or no. But I just open the damn states. Just open them. Biden could, but Biden blast Neanderthal thinking of governors lifting the lockdowns. Oh, let's have the lockdowns forever, Joe Biden. What do you care? You made millions off of China. Lock it down forever. Good luck doing that federal lockdown. Then you'll really need those troops around the Capitol, you moron. He's not doing that, of course, but I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him trying to do some sort of federal lockdown mandate or whatever. But the Democrats continue to double down on this stuff. Why? Are they that determined to destroy the economy? There's no strategy in that now. Biden's president. Open the damn economy. Trump is out. You finally can open the economy and look like you're doing something. The economy bounced back merely because you opened the states. You could take credit for it. You could take credit for all the happy people in those states. But you won't let it go for some reason. I think it has to do with money and pharmacy companies, but who could prove it? Nancy Pelosi tried to put $140 million in funding for a rail project in her district into the beer virus bill. And here's the best part of this entire article from the Gateway Pundit, is the last line. Aides to Pelosi, who represent San Francisco, had defended the project, saying that ridership for mass transit plummeted during the pandemic, making it reasonable to increase government spending. You see, for some mysterious reason, people who were told to stay home during a pandemic didn't ride the train inside with a bunch of people. Yeah, no kidding. Who the hell's going to get on the train? That's the worst place to go. If anything, you should be building more roads so people can continue to drive their cars everywhere. Not that they'll really need them because the roads in San Francisco will soon be empty as everybody's fleeing the city. Perhaps it's the poo-encrusted streets. Perhaps it's the fact that you tax everybody up to hell. Perhaps it's just the overall essiness of California government. But a lot of people have left San Francisco and will continue to do so. But this is just insane. Oh, ridership for mass transit plummeted during the pandemic. We're going to spend more money. Duh. More money to do what? Convince people not to drive, to ride a subway so some homeless guy can poop next to you? That's how bad it is in San Francisco. It's bad. I wouldn't ride the subway in San Francisco. No way. I wouldn't even want to go outside in San Francisco. It was a beautiful city. Had some cool stuff in it. I loved it. Now, you couldn't pay me to go there. Not now. Not now. Not with the... They just cut $120 million from their police force. The place is going to be... It's going to be a hellhole. It's going to be an expensive Detroit. I hope Nancy Pelosi's still living there when that happens. And speaking of depressing and decrepit, Hunter Biden probe active and ongoing without White House interference. Sources, Fox News. AG nominee Merrick Garland says he hasn't discussed the case with President Biden. Yeah, I'm sure he hasn't. Here's why. The sources told Fox News that those involved in the investigation, which is being run out of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware, are, quote, treating it seriously. Meaning that they're trying to come up with a really good story so they could sell you on the slightest slap on the wrist for Hunter Biden. Oh, it was a misunderstanding with his foreign investments. He's such a brilliant businessman, the son of the president. He made some mistakes in his taxes, and he's going to pay the fines plus interest. But there will be no jail time. I mean, if your father is president of the United States and he can't get you out, that would be impressive. If Hunter actually went to jail, I'd be impressed. I'd be like, wow, Joe Biden really stepped up. But it's not going to happen. Hunter's not going to jail. He's going to pay some fine. They're going to have a big press conference about it. They're going to tell you all this elaborate story. How it was all a big misunderstanding. It was all a mistake. But even so, Joe Biden and Hunter Biden are noble enough to pay for their mistake. And they're really wonderful people. Won't that be nice? And Merrick Garland will go, yes, this was legal by the book, everybody. Yeah. Meanwhile, I guess he must have tripped and his junk fell into a prostitute. And then his face went against her back and it just happened to be cocaine there and it went up his nose. These things happen. And finally, blackout. White House curbs press public access as Biden struggles with public demands for the job. Visitors logs withheld. Tours canceled. Petitioning system taken down. Look at him. He can't even see. Look how squinty he is. And his eyes are just black, soulless orbs. What the hell's wrong with it? He must be on so many drugs. That's my guess. He's on a S-ton of drugs. He's got the little thing that has the days of the week written on him, and he's probably got 3 of them. He's on so many pills. And he's got to constantly take them. There's probably a doctor, and his whole job is to make sure Joe Biden gets all his medication. Man, because if they screw something up, he'll probably go bonkers or drop dead or something. Throughout his presidential campaign and continuing since taking the White House, Joe Biden has promised a transparent approach to press and public relations. Yeah, right. Yet in recent weeks, his administration has closed off, at least for now, several key avenues via which the press and public have for years gained a modicum of transparency, accessibility, and accountability from the White House. Yeah, I wouldn't expect any. He spent 8 years in the White House watching Obama and going, wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do that. Ooh, that'll get you in trouble. And now he can put that knowledge to use. And he could always blame his senior moment or whatever. And without calling press conferences, there's no chance he's going to gaffe. He can't call one without Jill or Kamala or somebody there to squeeze his hand to tell him to stop talking. He doesn't know where he is, man. Come on, man. He can't be president. He's out of his mind. Look at them eyes. Squinty black, soulless orbs. That's Joe Biden. The one criticism I get of my impersonation of Joe Biden, and it's an impersonation, I don't really do his voice. I can't really get it. Is that I'm too coherent. Yeah, too coherent. And Joe Biden is very, very incoherent and shouldn't be president. But Kamala may be worse, so it's kind of like, which do you pick?